Yeah, here he comes, a happy guy indeed. We see that white gloved hand also up there in the air as he's giving everyone a wave as he goes by. Don, he'll wave at you too. Indeed he will, Howdy, and we've got him. He's running low against the inside part of the track as he's slowed down here on the backstretch. Indeed, he is waving to everybody as he goes by.
The big news in 1972 was Bobby Unser's blistering, pole-winning, four-lap qualifying speed of almost 196, which eclipsed Peter Revson's mark by 17 miles an hour. Al Unser had a good chance to become the first man to win 3 straight. Gary Bettenhausen, son of the late Tony Bettenhausen, leading the USAC point standings, qualified 4th. We told Gary how pleased we were to see him emerge as a front-runner.
Well, Gary, we think it's marvelous to see the Bettenhausen name once again receive the claim that's been due, and I know it's been a lifetime ambition of yours to enter a victory lane area that was denied your father, hasn't it been?
Yes, I really think this race means more to me than probably any other driver here.
Our producer, Jack Morrow, John DeCamp, and I wandered the grounds looking for a prime interview. We found one. We asked A.J. Foyt the question millions of fans were curious about.
Why does A.J. Foyt, who's done everything in racing, who is quite affluent, successful, we understand also financially secure, want to win a 4th Indianapolis 500-mile race?
Well, I actually said I've always raced. I love it, and to me it's a hobby, and it's still a good paycheck, and it's just something I love to do. And if I had to pick between everything else, I think I would pick racing. And if you can't race, what else can you do? I really enjoy it.
In other words, like the man who climbed the mountain because it was there, you ought to be the first man to do something no one else has done.
This is quite true. I feel records are made to be broken.
The 17-mile-an-hour jump in Bobby Unser's pole speed was the greatest one-year advance in the history of the Speedway.
What is your feeling about jumping the average speed for the pole, 17 miles an hour?
Well, I think it's very good, and I'm certainly glad that we're the ones that have done it, and that I feel that the Dan Gurney Olsen-Knight Eagles have upset the entire racing world, and we're going to cause a lot of changes this year, and I'm very happy to be a part of it.
The very popular Art Pollard broke his leg during practice. So we took a tape recorder to the Methodist Hospital and asked Art what caused the mishap.
Well, it was a situation where I was running about 185 miles an hour and going into the number 3 turn off the back straightaway, and a hub let go that holds the rear wheel on, the right rear wheel. When that happens, all kinds of things happen all of a sudden, and of course a driver's reflexes, you're lost. You can't, there's no way you can catch up with the car then. It just immediately loses control and does a 180 or a 360 and slams the wall. And I was fortunate enough that I hit the wall at a kind of a glancing blow on the left side, and fortunately it didn't do any more damage than just breaking my leg.
Where will you be race day, Art?
Race day, I'm going to try to be out the racetrack, of course, and if I can't make it, I guess I'll have to lay here and listen to you, Sid.
Art Pollard would never appear in another 500 because the next year he lost his life during a practice session 2 hours before the start of the first day of qualifications. Still trying desperately to conquer Indianapolis for the 4th time, racing luck again plagued A.J. Foyt for the start of the 72 race when his engine wouldn't even turn over. A.J. joined the field 1 lap later and eventually finished 25th. But when the race actually began, the field was 1 car short.
32 throbbing monsters move out of turn number 4 and head toward the starting line as Pat Baden shows the finger for 1 more lap. They will go around apparently 1 more time because the green flag comes out and the 1972 500-mile race is on. Come in, Mike Ahern.
Okay, Sid, diving low. Bobby Unser takes over first place, and coming up on the inside, Mario Andretti to go into second. Mark Donahue takes over third. Turn 2 at Howdy Bell.
We see them now, and it's Bobby Unser in that first spot. It's Mario Andretti second. Mark Donahue is third. But car number 34, Sam Posey is fourth as they head to the backstretch, and here's Doug Zink. And Bobby Unser opening up a lead here on the main straightaway has lost something from his car. A piece of cloth flying through the air here on the racetrack. The signal mounts in the background. They're up in turn 3. Here's Ron Carroll.
And Bobby Unser is already biased. Mario Andretti is in second place. Then Mark Donahue as they go to 4. Jim Shelton.
Right here is Bobby Unser. He just went by. You heard him. And the big surprise, there's Mario Andretti, but he's a great driver.
In a display of tenacity, Wally Dallenbach stayed with his car, which caught on fire 3 times in the pits. And Mike Mosley, one of the youngest drivers in the field, took the lead, only to lose a wheel and crash in turn 4, in the exact spot where he hit the wall the year before. Jerry Grant, driving Dan Gurney's Mystery Eagle, looked like he was about to pull an upset as he built up a 100-yard lead, which he lost during a 33-second pit stop. Top contender Mark Donahue, who overtook Grant in the closing stages to win, was one of the most overcome and sensitive winners.
Oh, this is really the happiest moment of my life, and I really owe a lot to Carl Keinhopper and Roger Penske and all the guys that worked so hard to get to this point. We had some good luck, and it's kind of a change for us, I guess. But our whole team worked really well, and I just can't express how happy I am.
After the race, Bob Forbes visited with second-place finisher Jerry Grant in the garage area.
I know it's disappointing not to win, but you still must be happy with your second-place finish.
Well, I'm certainly not unhappy. I wanted to win, but there'll always be another time.
It was later determined by the officials that when Grant had come in for a tire change on the 188th lap, he had illegally used teammate Bobby Unser's pit fuel tank. So Grant was moved to 12th place. This moved Al Unser up to second. He had almost made it in his quest for 3 straight. All during May of 1973, drivers courted the magic 200-mile-per-hour one-lap record, and pole sitter Johnny Rutherford had come closest with a fast lap of 199.073. During festivities on race day morning, 88-year-old René Thomas, winner of the race in 1914, rode around the track in his winning Delage race car. Mike Ahern gave us this weather report.
It's Plastic City here in Turn 1. Everybody has their plastic shields over their heads, or their multicolored umbrellas are up. As John DeCamp pointed out earlier, it's a curious sky. A lot of dark, ominous clouds will scud in here for a few minutes, and then there's a patch of, not sunlight, but at least a clearing sky behind it. So perhaps that forecast will hold up, but we could get a race in here sometime today. That's the story in Turn 1, Sid. It's mighty wet up here in the photo deck right now.
Finally, in the early afternoon, the green flag was given for the start. And as the cars roared by, we had a fiery multiple-car accident, and the race was red flagged and stopped.
Now down the main stretch for the world's fastest flying start they come. The green flag is waved, and the 1973 Indianapolis 500-mile race is on.
Yes, Sid, what a battle for the lead. It's Bobby Unser shutting off Johnny Rutherford at the turn. Then it's Mark Donahue and Mario Andretti. Unser leads Turn 2 and Howdy Bell.
We have a tremendous crash here going into the number 1 turn in the back of the pack, Mike. We'll take it back here once again. The red flag is out. The red flag is out. We'll not try to guess how many cars. Near the very back of the pack, something happened.
St. Walther, the most seriously injured, was hospitalized for almost 3 months, but was to return to racing the following year. Before the track was cleared, another downpour forced postponement until the second day. After a 2-day rain delay, the race was started on its 3rd attempt, and things went smoothly until the 59th lap, when Swede Savage hit the wall coming out of Turn 4.
The red flag is out and the race is being stopped. Had a man in the pit being hit by an official fire truck, and we have fire being put out as the race is stopped in the north end. Naturally, we're distressed, first of all, to hear about Swede Savage. That's first and foremost. Now to the north pit, a report from Chuck Marlowe.
It appears that car number 40, driven by Swede Savage, was in the groove coming out of Turn 4 when he apparently broke from that groove, whether of his own volition or losing control because of a mechanical or structural malfunction. The car began to slide, according to the tire marks, some 800 feet before the first impact with the wall, at which time this amazing burst of flame, the bright orange, dotted the sky and the area up in Turn number 4. The car then continued on down the wall, sliding on the wall. After having ruptured that tank, the car appears to have turned 1 complete time before it entered against the wall.
After a delay of another hour, Chief Steward Harlan Fengler ordered the race restarted in single file. Finally, at 5:32 Indianapolis time, the red flag came out once again, due to rain, which prohibited the resumption of the race. Gordon Johncock, who had overtaken race leader Bobby Unser by the 60th lap, was declared the winner. Johncock was interviewed in a soggy victory lane.
I really hate to see a race end this way. I would surely like to went to 500 miles. I'm sure everybody else would have too, but I have my crew to thank. Everybody that worked on the automobile. If they hadn't been able, hadn't done the job they'd done so I could finish it, I wouldn't be here now.
Billy Vukovich, the son of the 2-time Indy winner, finished second, the highest finish ever by the son of a former winner. Coincidentally, if Bill had won, it would have been 20 years to the day that his father had taken the checkered flag in 1953. Finishing third, his best ever, national driving champion Roger McCluskey was interviewed by Bob Forbes in the pit area.
I assume the way your car was running, you felt you had a good chance to catch it. I think we did, but you never know. You know, we didn't. They called the race short, and Gordy won it, and I congratulate him. Well, all you have to do now, you finished third, and you're third in your car, so all you have to do is win the driving championship with number one. Maybe that might happen then next year. Well, that would certainly wouldn't make me unhappy, but I'd like to win here and then do that.
A.J. Foyt, the winningest driver in USAC history, grabbed the pole in 1974. Still the man with the best chance of winning 4 times. By now, A.J. had started 17 consecutive times, eclipsing the record of 16 set by Cliff Bergier and Chet Miller. Hardly a dark horse anymore, but a man who had never completed the 500 in 10 tries was Johnny Rutherford, who posted the second fastest qualifying speed, but had to start from the 25th position since mechanical problems forced him to qualify the second weekend. Over 10,000 vari-colored balloons filled the air as over 300,000 spectators waited for the green flag. Fellow Texans A.J. Foyt and Johnny Rutherford battled for the lead lap after lap. Then Rutherford pulled into the pits right behind Foyt.
Now to Foyt's making a pit stop. We'll pick him up. Lou, can you see it?
Got it. Just arriving now, coming in slowly, but actually gaining time coming into the pit area where you can go a little quicker than under the 80-mile-an-hour set Pacer light system we're using here. And there goes a wheel nut retainer from Foyt's car. They've got a spare ready to go with it, though. Foyt takes a glass of water, just a sip from it, throws it out. Rutherford is in immediately behind him. So Foyt's car is now off the jacks, now back up on again. He's pointing to that front tire assembly. And the right front indication that he did want it, and he's really furious, steaming in the cockpit as Rutherford already has made his pit stop and pulls on around him. Foyt is not a happy man. He wants new right front rubber, and he wants it now. They're finally getting an impact wrench on it, and it is off. The new tire is on. That is yet another pit stop made. Jan Opperman going by at the moment. Foyt finally has the tire that he wants, and they're pushing him away, but Johnny Rutherford is up in front as Foyt now rejoins the field under a slow Pacer light yellow situation.
Foyt overtook Rutherford several times to lead the race again, but A.J. was forced to retire on the 142nd lap. Rutherford completed his first Indianapolis race and won it as well.
And here to call the winner is the voice of the 500, Sid Collins.
And here's the checkered flag for Johnny Rutherford, winner of the 1974 Indianapolis 500-mile race.
Lou Palmer was there to greet the excited winner.
John, for a guy who's never led a lap here, you did pretty good today.
Well, thank you. Lou, by golly, that one lap was the only one I wanted to lead, the last one, and I can't say enough for this McLaren crew. They worked very hard. We've had some setbacks. We've lost 2 or 3 engines, and we've just had all kinds of trouble, and by golly, it paid off today. I had my doubts when we started so far back, but the way everything worked out is great.
This concludes over 50 years of the greatest spectacle in racing. Each year at the sign-off of our broadcast, it has become customary to recite a poem or a serious bit of philosophy to salute the 500-mile race winner. If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you'd like to win, but you think you can't, it's almost a cinch. You won't. If you think you'll lose, you're lost. For out in the world we find success begins where the fellow's will. It's all in your state of mind. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man. But sooner or later, the man who wins is the one who thinks he can. So until next May, this is Sid Collins, the voice of the 500, wishing you good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending upon where in the world you are right now. We're here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway at the crossroads of America. Goodbye.